Marcus wakes before dawn, same as every morning. The bakery needs tending. His wife and daughters already have the ovens going, the smell of fresh bread filling their modest block home. He stretches, prays briefly to the house gods, a habit more than a belief. Steps into the courtyard. The city is already alive. Vendors setting up in the forum, servants hauling water, the wealthy being carried in litters toward the baths. Marcus breathes in the morning air and thinks about his vineyard up on the mountain slopes. The grapes are nearly ready. Another week, maybe two. Then the ground shakes. Not violently, enough to make everyone freeze mid-step, brace themselves, and gasp. Marcus grips the door frame and kind of holds his breath. The tremor lasts maybe 5 seconds at most, then stops. People kind of laugh nervously and resume their routines like nothing happened. Shaky ground today. Third one this week. Marcus doesn't smile. This is the 7th tremor in 3 days, and each one is stronger than the last. He's not the only one who's noticed. Just yesterday, Marcus watched the Flavius family load 3 carts with their valuables and leave the city, heading north toward Rome. Why the sudden departure? Marcus had asked. The father, a respected merchant, looked at him with genuine fear in his eyes. Until these quakes stop, my family sleeps elsewhere. These tremors, it's like the land itself opposes our presence. For the longtime residents, they mocked them. Cowards, they shouted as the carts rolled away. Running from a little shaking? 2 noblemen passed Marcus now, laughing over wine. You believe it? Selling everything and fleeing like frightened children. They'd been here for the big quake in 62. They'd really have something to cry about. 17 years later, and we're still rebuilding after that one. They laugh, shake their heads, walk on. Marcus watches them go, and he looks up towards the mountain in the distance. Mount Vesuvius. His vineyard sprawls across its fertile slopes. He needs to stop worrying. He needs to just get back to work. He steps into the bustling street and starts walking. Forum is packed. Everyone is talking about the tremor. First one today. Wonder how many more we'll get. This is the 7th in 3 days. The gods are restless. Nothing to worry about, just the earth settling. Most people seemed unconcerned, more occupied with public appearances and business deals than irrational fears. Maybe the gods are jealous of us here in Pompeii. They cackle, they scoff, they mock. But some aren't so calm. Marcus passes a wealthy merchant frantically loading valuables into a cart. His servants work in silence, fear on their faces. Leaving? Marcus asks. The man doesn't even look up. My possessions are worth more than my pride. The man just keeps on packing. But most stay, watching the drama unfold from their little social cliques gathered at every corner, every shop, every takeaway counter and bakery front. Because Pompeii is thriving, wealthy, sophisticated, the jewel of Campania. Who would abandon paradise over a few tremors? Marcus walks faster. The mountain looms in the distance, just silent, majestic, covered in green vineyards and olive groves. No one suspects what's coming. No one knows that the mountain is the cause of the quakes. It's a ticking time bomb that in a few hours, everything will change. But some feel it, that wrongness in the air, that tension. The warnings are everywhere, but most are blind to the message. It's just afternoon when Marcus finishes running his errands and reaches the edge of the city. One of his vineyard workers is running toward him, frantic, out of breath. Master, the mountain, it's shaking. Marcus nods. Yeah, we felt it. The tremors, we felt them too. No, the worker grabs his arm. It hasn't stopped. The whole mountain it's vibrating all morning. It's shaking right now. Marcus opens his mouth to respond, like what? Then he sees it. Movement from the direction of the mountain, rising from the peak, a column like the trunk of a mighty tree, solid, strong, ascending into the sky. Higher, higher. The city goes silent. Every voice stops. Every eye turns toward Vesuvius. The column rises impossibly high, a pillar reaching to heaven. The world's volume on mute, utterly silent, reverent, Then, the sound is deafening. 1,000 explosions at once. Marcus drops to his knees, hands over his ears. The roar echoes off the mountains. It shakes the grounds, rattles his bones. And all around him, Pompeii erupts into chaos. Yeah, imagine they did erupt into chaos, you guys. Holy moly. Can you imagine being like right there, that close, and all of a sudden a mountain explodes in front of you? What would you do, guys? How do you handle it? Do you just absolutely drop everything and run for your life? Do you run as far from that mountain as you can possibly get? What do you think the people of Pompeii did? What do you think Marcus is going to do here? Leave me your guesses in the comments right now, guys. And don't cheat. Don't look ahead. Let me know afterward, were you correct? Did you make the right move? Would your decision have been the right decision in this moment? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share the channel with anybody you think might like it. But for now, guys, let's jump right back into this story right here on the Southern Draw Podcast. Marcus had only been in Pompeii for 2 years. Back home in Capua, he'd been comfortable. A modest vineyard, a small bakery, enough to get by. But Pompeii was opportunity. The wealthy flocked here, the senators, merchants, Roman elite building summer villas along the coast. And they all wanted something Marcus could offer: wine. So Marcus sold everything, moved his family south, and bought land on the slopes of Vesuvius. The soil there was rich, volcanic, fertile, perfect for grapes. Within a year, his wine was selling faster than he could produce it. His wife's bakery became a popular spot for morning bread, and they bought a house on a main street. Small, but respectable. Marcus had invested everything here: his savings, his future, his family's security. And now people were telling him to leave? Nah, the longtime residents said this was normal. Just Pompeii things, a little shimmy here, a little shaking there. Never hurt anybody. And Marcus, he wanted to believe them, because leaving meant admitting he'd made a mistake. Leaving meant losing everything, failure. So when people mocked those who fled, Marcus, he joined in. When people shrugged off the tremors, so did Marcus. It's fine, everything's fine. But deep down, he knew better. Pride, it's a dangerous thing. And on August 24th, 79 AD, well, pride would cost Marcus and 20,000 others everything. The sound was deafening. Marcus climbs back to his feet and runs through the forum, down the main street, dodging panicked crowds. Has to get home, has to get to his wife, his daughters. The city is chaos. Some people are screaming, grabbing children, running for the gates. Still others are laughing it off. It's just smoke, one man shouts. The gods are angry. Make an offering, it'll stop. This happened in 62. We survived then, we'll survive now. Marcus doesn't stop to argue, he just runs. By the time he reaches his house, ash is falling. At first it looks like snow, kind of light and gray, flakes drifting down from the sky, but it's not snow. It's hot. Some pieces glow orange. They hiss when they hit the ground. Marcus bursts through the door. Where are the girls? His wife appears, pale but calm. They're upstairs packing. Good, we're leaving now. But then he stops, turns back toward the doorway, looks at the mountain. The column, the massive pillar of smoke and ash has changed. It's no longer rising straight up. At the top, it's spreading out, branching out in every direction, like the crown of a mighty oak tree, unfurling across the sky like a scroll. And beneath it, darkness. The cloud is so massive, it's blocking out the sun. Midday and the city is falling into twilight. His wife comes and stands beside him. We'll leave, Marcus says, if it gets any worse. She nods. They stand in the doorway and watch. The mountain rages. Ash falls thicker now. The sky turns black. All around them, people react differently. Some are rallying up able-bodied men to help with emergency efforts. Some are loading carts, fleeing toward the city gates with as many valuables as they can carry. Others are blocking up windows, protecting their homes. And some, unbelievably, some are still going about their business, opening shops, heading to the bathhouses, as if nothing is wrong. Marcus watches, waits. If it gets worse, we'll leave. If it gets worse. But he doesn't leave. Not yet. Not yet. Mount Vesuvius erupted all night. For 12 hours, that column of ash and smoke towered over the city. Pumice rained down fist-sized chunks of hot, porous rock. Roofs collapsed under the weight and streets filled with debris. But most people stayed. Some because they didn't believe it was serious, and some they just refused to abandon their possessions. Some because everyone else was staying, so it must be fine. When in Rome, Marcus and his family stayed, watching, waiting for it to get worse. It did get worse, a lot worse. Early the next morning, August 25th, around 6:30 a.m., that massive column in the sky collapsed. And a wave of superheated gas, ash, rock came roaring down the mountain at over 100 miles an hour. A pyroclastic flow. Temperatures over 500 degrees Fahrenheit, moving faster than anybody could run. It reached Pompeii in minutes. And everyone still in the city, everyone. Marcus, his wife, his daughters, the merchants who stayed to protect their shops, the nobles who mocked the ones who fled. Well, their pride kept their eyes shut long enough for disaster to finish its work. Their arrogance delayed their reaction until reacting was pointless. All of them would die horribly for it, buried under 20 feet of ash and pumice, frozen, literally, in time. When archaeologists uncovered Pompeii nearly 2,000 years later, they found the bodies exactly as they fell. People huddled in corners, covering their faces, a man clutching a bag of coins, people holding loved ones and children, paintings, artwork, cookware, architecture, infrastructure, luxury at its finest. Even fruits, vegetables, and loaves of bread, all perfectly preserved as if the movie were paused. They had countless warnings, these people, countless warnings. 12 hours of ash and pumice and darkness and earthquakes. 12 hours to leave, to save themselves, and they didn't. You know, there's a verse in Matthew that I couldn't get out of my head while I was reading about the people of Pompeii. In Matthew 24, Jesus is talking about the end times, about his return, the end of days. And he says this, "As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. For in the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark. And they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away." You see, even in Noah's day, people were warned. Noah himself, he preached for years. He built a massive boat in the middle of dry land. And they laughed at him, they mocked him, they scoffed and they joked. They went about their lives like nothing was wrong and everything was fine. Until the rain started. Sound familiar? The people of Pompeii had warnings, same as Noah's people. Earthquakes for days, tremors getting stronger and more frequent, families fleeing the city. And what did most people do? Well, they mocked them. They called them cowards, stayed put because leaving would mean admitting that something was wrong. Pride kept them there. Normalcy bias kept them there. The assumption that it hasn't happened yet, it won't happen now. FOMO, the fear of missing out, kept them there. You know, here's the thing. Jesus isn't telling us the story of Noah to scare us. He's telling us to be ready, to pay attention, to be ever watchful, because judgment is coming. Not maybe, not probably. Definitely. And when it does, it'll be sudden, unexpected, no time to get ready. You have to be prepared. There will be no getting post-paired. So here's my question to you. Are you ready? Not do you go to church? Not are you a good person? If Jesus came back today, right now, this second, would you be ready to stand before him? Because the people of Pompeii thought they had time. We'll leave if it gets worse. We'll go tomorrow. It's probably nothing. But it was something. There was no tomorrow. They didn't have time. And neither do you and me, honestly. For all flesh is like grass, and all its glory like the flower of grass. The grass withers, and the flower falls. For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. The Bible says, today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Today, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you get your life together. Today, because tomorrow might be too late. The people of Pompeii ignored the warnings. They mocked those who heeded them, stayed put because it was easier, safer, more comfortable, and they died. Yeah, don't be like Pompeii. Jesus is offering you a way out, not a bunker, not a plan B, just him. He took the judgment you deserved, paid the price on the cross, rose from the dead, and he offers you forgiveness, life, and a place in his kingdom. All you have to do is accept it. Confess that you're a sinner, believe that he died for you and rose again, and call on his name. That's it. But please do it today, because the eruption is coming. The flood, it's coming. The return of Christ is coming. And when it does, there won't be time to get ready. Marcus stood in the doorway and he watched the mountain rage. We'll leave if it gets worse. But Marcus didn't leave. He didn't act. Even though everything around him was saying, move, do something, he stayed. He resisted. He stayed put. The next morning, he was buried under 20 feet of scalding hot ash. Don't let that be your story. The warnings are all around you. The signs are clear. The question is, will you be like the few and heed the warnings? Or will you be like the masses and wait until it's too late? Oh man, guys, that is a great question. Are you going to heed the warnings? Are you going to wait until it's too late? There's a lot of people sitting around out there just complacent right now, guys, that are literally, they're walking through the fire and they're walking through the storms of life. And rather than look for the exit ramp, they just continue to dwell in that torment. Guys, I tell you all the time, be ever watchful. These signs, these wonders, they are there. Just pay attention, guys. Look around you too, man. There's so many people out there right now that are hurting, the warnings are all around them as well. And they keep marching right toward the disaster. Guys, we got to try to help these people, man. Try to reach out to these people, pull them out of the fire if we can. Hey, maybe share a story with them, a crazy story about Pompeii, if you know what I'm saying. Share the story, share the channel. If you like what we're doing here, guys, we really appreciate you for watching. Until next time, guys, be free, be blessed. Peace. Blindly walking, I'm so lost. Gone for quite some time.